Welcome to a meeting of the Town of Barnstable Comprehensive Financial Advisory Committee. Today is March 15th, 2024, and this meeting is being recorded by the Town of Barnstable and will be available on Channel 8 after the meeting is finished. The agenda is on the town website. The first item of business is to call the roll, please.
Lillian? Lillian?
Here.
Here. Hector?
I'm here.
Neil?
Here.
Jim?
Here.
Chris?
Here.
Chuck is here. We have a quorum.
Okay, I need to inquire if there's anybody here taping this meeting and to let themselves be known. Not hearing any, we can immediately go to the main topic of discussion for today, which is a review of the final draft of the CIP report.
Neil, do you want me to share my screen or do you want to do it?
You may, sir. That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll turn it over to you, Neil, and let you walk us through this report.
Oh, in that case, if you want to share it, I can do that, Mark.
Okay,
Up to
yeah.
you.
I just got to call it up here. So, sorry.
Yep.
We're giving you the honor since you chaired this subcommittee.
Well, if I'm successful, that will end today.
Well, the proposal,
We're counting on you. We're counting on you.
so the goal is to review and then vote to approve, correct, Lillian?
Yes, yes,
Okay, is everybody seeing this?
yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess we'll go through page by page unless anyone has a better idea.
No, I think that's the best way. And then, do you want us to give you comments and then decide whether we want to approve the page or not, or do you want to wait?
Yeah,
till
but that's fine.
Okay.
So we are on the cover page. Any suggested edits to this?
Looks good to me.
Looks good to me.
Yep.
We're gonna, the bottom right, the date to approve will be, it will be March 15th,
Would be
right?
today, yes.
Right, good, okay.
Oh, I
Where-
noticed the periods are on the title on this page again. So where it says capital improvement plan and review and advice, there's periods on there. And there shouldn't be.
Right. And actually,
I don't have periods in mine. Chris,
yeah,
do you have the latest version?
Oh,
no, it's not Chris.
yeah, the
oh,
one that
It
Neil
is-
sent me doesn't have periods. The one he's showing right now does, though.
Okay, yeah.
I think I may have not given Mark the right one, or
Did
you
you take
want
away
me to
the
share
period?
mine, which doesn't have the periods?
All right, let
There's
me
so
look.
many versions. I can imagine some people have got them wrong, the wrong
Yeah.
ones.
Hold on, Neil. I got the last one you sent me was on Thursday at 10:14 a.m.
Yes,
Right.
Okay,
that
let me-
sounds right.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Sorry about that.
let me share that one. Sorry, my fault. There we go.
Nobody's fault.
There we go.
Ah,
There you
okay, good.
go.
Mark
Yeah.
fixed it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Eagle Eye.
Trying to earn that award.
There you go.
I think. Okay, so
Oh, good.
we're set for that. Page
Yep.
2. Any changes?
No, looks good here.
Anyone want to second that?
Yes, I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay.
3. Now, this is the one that Chris immediately spotted, and the footnote on the pie chart, which starts about note water drinking, was missing com. So that has been added at my end. Any other notes that we should talk about on this page?
I'm sorry, Neil, where are
Where
you
are
gonna
you
insert
putting pond?
Not the and the footnote that, or not the footnote, the note next to
Yeah.
the uses. It says that the CIP includes only Hyannis and not the Cotuit, Barnstable Village or West Barnstable Water Districts. That should also include COM.
Okay,
Okay,
so
And
it does not include
Correct.
Okay,
I have
It's
one,
inter-
I have one comment.
Yes,
That first sentence is super. It is the crux of our report, and it's the bottom line. And so anybody who reads it knows exactly what to expect. It's a good one.
so this is the lead sentence
The
under
lead,
the,
I think the
under the-
lead, it's the
under
best
the
lead
header-
sentence you could possibly have.
the town manager's fiscal year 2025, that sentence?
Yeah,
Okay,
that one.
good.
The fact that you say it's triple any prior year, that's our bottom line. It sets the stage.
Right.
can I ask, or just two little nitpicky things in the note to the right of the thing? Is Barnstable Village the name of the town, or is village lowercase?
It
village
should be,
lowercase.
it's actually that water district doesn't have village in the title. It's just called
It's just
Barnstable.
Barnstable Water District.
Yeah. So I
Right,
would do,
but for clarity,
yeah,
since we didn't want to refer to Barnstable the county or Barnstable the town, we
right.
thought we would make it perfectly clear, even though clearly Barnstable could be on its own, but I think it's better to be safe than sorry.
Okay,
Do you think we should capitalize village then?
No,
Okay,
No, I don't think so.
it's not
okay,
part of its name.
I'm
And the
fine
other
with
thing-
that.
the other thing is like the header on the first page, under source. I'm not sure CFAC analysis is a sentence, so I'm not sure we need a period.
Sorry?
Where are you?
To the lower left of the pie chart, source.
Yes.
CFAC analysis, I don't know why we need a period there.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's, all right, we can fix that.
yeah.
Hello.
Also, Neil, I don't think West Barnstable doesn't have a water district. There's no public water supply in that village. It's just a
But
fire.
they
It is-
do,
Yeah, it is,
they-
they
Well,
do
they
have a
do
water
have
district
a
and I
water-
believe,
Okay,
sorry? Did I talked over somebody?
Yeah, it was just the fire district in West Barnstable. There is a water division of that, even though they don't have, it's all on wells. So I don't know what the water district really does, but there
Well,
are people in.
Actually,
divisions of it.
the water district there supplies some buildings and it supplies all of the fire hydrants
yeah,
and it has a budget.
and they have a commission. They have 3 commissioners.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do have commissioners for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the reference is okay.
All right,
Okay.
So is it
Period
accurate
at
then?
CFAC. Pardon?
Is it accurate then?
yep.
Yes,
Okay.
Next page is
can I ask a general question, Neil?
yes.
Is the formatting still a TBD? In other words, I look at this page. If I were reading it, it'd be nice if the sentences go with the graphics and, the last 2 lines get split to page 3. The sentence at the top that starts "to use lower cost" is part of a sentence or paragraph that starts on the prior page. If when we format this, we can get them to not be split. I just think it would be easier reading, but I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that would be nice to strive for, Chuck, but we'll see if we can format that.
Okay,
Can we go back to page 2 and officially approve it? Because we didn't do that. We just sort of rolled on. Do we all approve this page now?
I do.
I do. Okay.
Just, this comes under nits and gnats, but where we use numbers, any, any number 10 or below, I always spell out. So in the paragraph below the pie chart, we have 4 years in a number, and I'm changing it to 4, FOUR, and then 2 lines down, past 2 years, I would change it to TWO from the number 2. I always learned that in my 3rd grade English class. So other than that, the page looks good to me.
Yep. And Hector, same comments about like splitting things at the bottom where a sentence starts and then the bullets are on the next page. So if you can do it, great.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Are we good with this page?
I like it.
Yes.
I am. Okay.
Page 3, Neil.
We just approved page 3. We're now on page
Okay.
4.
The only comment I have here is that very first bullet. The Municipal Empowerment Act that would allow communities to raise those 3 taxes has not been enacted yet. It's currently a proposal. And I don't know, maybe you want to asterisk that and just so the reader knows that we don't have that option yet.
Potentially.
It's a potential. Yeah.
Where is that reference, Mark?
First
The very
one.
first bullet, which taxes will Barnstable increase? Meals taxes, local rooms taxes, motor vehicle excise taxes. We can't raise any of those currently. Not unless the Municipal Empowerment Act is approved by the legislature and signed by the governor.
Where is that currently, Mark? Do you know?
They've had testimony at the state level, and so it's before the legislature.
I had
And
a breakfast this morning with the MMA had a legislative breakfast, and that was discussed, and they think it will be it's going to be a fight, I guess, on a couple of different fronts, but the feeling is that it would pass hopefully by June 30th, but it has not passed yet.
And
so if we,
potentially which taxes or which potential taxes will
can we
Barnstable raise?
can we change in that first bullet? Can we change will to might? Or does that not solve the problem?
Doesn't.
So how are we rewording this one?
You might want to consider taking it out.
Okay.
Well,
just-
I think the point is that these are taxes. I wouldn't take it out because these are taxes that will add. You know, these were referred to. Mark, you had these in your February 2nd presentation to town council. So how about if we say something like subject to passage of the municipal whatever act it's called?
Empowerment Act.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Empowerment Act?
Yeah.
So suppose we write subject to passage of the Municipal Empowerment Act, comma, which taxes will Barnstable increase?
Okay. Who is scribing this one?
I'm scribing it.
Okay. So would you read that?
Empowerment.
Would you read
Yep.
that back, please?
Yeah, let me just finish. Act. Okay, subject to passage of the Municipal Empowerment Act. And that's a capitalized term. Which taxes will Barnstable increase? Meals taxes, local room taxes, motor vehicle taxes, question mark.
Right. Was there a comma after that whole thing about the municipal thing?
Yes,
Subject
yes,
to, okay,
yep.
Yeah.
Clarification, Mark, our motor vehicle excise taxes are not in MAA, are they?
I'm not sure. What do you mean MMA?
MEA. That was room taxes, short-term rentals, meals taxes. I don't think that covered, did that cover?
Yeah,
motor
it
vehicle?
included a surcharge.
5%
motor vehicle
surcharge.
excise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
So,
good.
and I have
Okay.
another question, Mark.
If you think about it, it's just a question. It's not a
Yeah.
statement.
Yep.
Right? So the more we try to make it into a statement,
Yeah,
I mean, it's a very straightforward question. Which taxes will be increased? It doesn't
Yeah.
say they are or not. It just is a question.
right. And Mark,
that's
I have
true.
a question. Is it proper to separate room taxes from short-term rental taxes?
Yes, you have to do that because they're different.
So should we say meals taxes, room taxes, short-term rental taxes, motor vehicle taxes?
I don't think you need to do that
I
because
don't care.
rooms taxes include taxes on traditional lodging and short-term rentals.
Okay, all right.
So,
That answered my question.
Okay.
Great.
Now, picking up on Jim's point, do we want to leave it as it was as a general question?
These are
Or do
just
we
general
want to be
questions.
specific as changed by a hectare?
I think the change makes it a little clearer. It tells the reader that this act needs to be passed in order for us to raise these taxes. So I think that would be my vote.
Do we want to change it to which taxes could Barnstable increase instead of will Barnstable increase? Does that make a difference to anyone?
Good.
You know, because it's not a definite that any of those would be increased.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
You could say
Yeah,
pending legislative approval or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Meals
that's good. You know, pending legislative approval, which taxes could Barnstable increase? I think that would sum it up.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
okay. So you want me to take out the reference to the Municipal Empowerment
Right,
Act?
just pending legislative approval is
Okay.
it's a better way to do it.
Okay.
So would you read that one back, please, Hector?
Yeah. Pending legislative approval, comma, which taxes could Barnstable increase? Meals taxes, local room taxes, motor vehicle excise taxes, question mark.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other comments on page 4?
Nope, looks good to me.
Agree.
All right,
Moving right along.
moving right along here.
The only thing I had on this page was just a grammatical thing. On the first bullet, what are the implications and how will, I think it should be they. Isn't implications plural?
Yeah. That's a good catch.
Any other comments,
No,
changes?
I think this page has a lot of meat to it. I like this page.
Yeah, this is really well done. Do we want to add under number 2, do we want to add FY 2026?
Yeah, that's a good catch. In the header, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just says
Tiff-
2026 plus. So I wondered if we wanted to add the FY.
I think
Good
that's
job.
good.
Good job, Lillian. Don't let this Chris guy take over your role here.
Well, considering I can't even see the big E when I have my eye test. Thank you. Yeah, looks good.
Yep, it does.
Okay, good to go, everybody. Page 6.
This page has a period after CFAC analysis as well on that chart. So that should be taken out.
All right, I've just taken it out.
And again, Hector, the formatting thing, you know, I don't know how this is all going to shake out, but we have a big bold header at the bottom with a couple of lines.
Right.
So, but I realize that's a TBD. So
Yeah, we'll fool around with the formatting and try to get it to be clearer. But Chuck, would you end page 6 with the word topics period and then put that CWMP financial highlights?
if I could, yes.
Would
if I
you
could,
would you
yeah.
just start a new page with that?
Yeah,
put
I think
page
that
break.
would be better.
Okay, I'll do that, and then Neil, you and I and Jim can fool around with the formatting, because to move that to the next page is gonna affect
It'll
text
affect them.
further down.
Exactly.
Yeah, it moves everything around, and
Yeah.
then you have to go back and change the table of contents. You know, I would ballot for, we never did this in prior reports. They just flowed sentence after sentence. I don't understand why we would do it now differently.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll look at formatting, Chuck, when we get done with this.
Okay.
Page 7. Chris, I'm beating you to it. The footnote, CFAC analysis has a period after it. Should we get rid of that?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that's probably the case on all of the charts, it looks like.
Yeah, there's
So,
no need
Okay.
for that.
That's a major, because that one is part of the picture.
Yeah,
We're going to have to go back and redo all the charts. I would petition, it is not that important.
yeah, I agree.
It's a lot
I
of
agree.
work.
If the prior period I was able to drop because it was not part of the chart. Okay. So we'll delete those dangling periods when we can, Chris, but we may not be able to get all of them.
oh, that's fine. I didn't even notice them until Chuck mentioned that first one. I've got to
Yeah.
like zoom in just to see the thing. So
You guys are feeding off of each other. Okay, page 8.
Page 7 looks good. Page 8. Again, you've got your sources that, you know,
At least they're all consistent.
They
this
are.
is true.
Yep.
But this looks good.
All right.
Okay, page 9. What's so funny?
I hadn't checked this before, but the percentages don't add.
Yeah, they don't.
I thought they did. Double check that unless I changed something.
Yeah,
What was it? What did you come up with?
Oh, no, excuse me. You're right. They're okay.
are
Thank
we
you.
fine? On the 22.8?
Yes.
Okay,
My apologies.
And opposite the public works, 3.6, and we need a space between 3.6 and million, and I just put that in.
okay.
And is there a reason why schools is underlined in the
The total.
9.9 million?
I
Total.
guess that means that's the end of the tabs. Maybe it should go all the way across.
But it's
I
not a
get-
total.
Yeah, I
what-
understand why the total is underlined, but
Yeah.
schools shouldn't be underlined, correct?
Well, it's
Just
a
like the rest.
total in a column. I couldn't find a double underline for the total below, but that's what's meant to indicate that that's a stop, right? So you're adding that,
Right,
those numbers with an underline, totaling it. That
Right.
should have been a double underline, but I couldn't find it in
I,
Word.
I think we can eliminate the underlining under schools.
then you would
But
need to take away the underline under 9.9.
Well,
No.
because no, that's the column of numbers that's being added up.
You can-
So
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Hector, I can, there is a double underline in Word that you can put under the 22.8.
okay, I'll find that and put that in. And then
But
I
you
would
know,
not
Neil,
have
that's
an
not
under.
really- Whatever,
not-
whatever works for you guys. It doesn't, that just explain, I'm explaining why I did what I did, that's all.
Yeah,
I'm fine with whatever changes.
Okay. Anything else? Next.
Right. Enterprise funds. The only tiny thing I saw was on the last sentence on that page. I think town should be capitalized.
where are you, Chuck?
Overall, the focus of the town, bottom, last sentence.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it speaks well to the work you all did that this is what we're coming up with. So
Yeah.
good on you.
Well, I think, in fairness, we've benefited from prior reviews by Lillian and yourself. So
I wonder who it was that edited the enterprise fund earlier, Chuck.
Oh, who did that?
Yeah, Chuck.
These are hard to spot.
Yeah. Well, this is a big report.
Yep.
No, it looks good.
It's actually only 2 pages longer than the other ones if you take out the appendix and the table of contents. It's not
I
that
see.
long.
All
It's
right.
just- everyone's very detailed. Okay, next page.
can
We
I
approve
just
this?
ask, can I just flag the last sentence on page 11, after that, the top chart? However, it may be a worthwhile exercise for CFAC to be requested to analyze.
Where are
If
we
this-
now? We're on page
You're on
11.
the next, you're a page ahead of us, Hector.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
sorry,
we're not there
sorry.
yet.
Sorry.
Are we okay with page 10?
I am.
Okay,
Yes.
everybody? All right,
So
now
the-
we can go to 11.
So this sentence,
Where are you?
So you see the chart, 5-year plan comparison, and then the
Yeah.
4 lines below it, the last sentence in that 2-sentence paragraph. However, it may be a worthwhile exercise for CFAC to be requested to analyze if the service fee increases. There might be more.
I thought we were gonna take that out. Maybe you didn't, I may have just done it in the online version, Neil, and didn't do it in the hard copy, but I thought we questioned that last time and I took that out.
Oh, I would agree to take it out. That got
Okay.
missed somehow.
It's kind of an awkward sentence, and I,
We're deleting that last sentence.
okay,
Yep.
so that,
From however
So-
on to sustainable, right?
Yeah, from however to the end.
so there's just one sentence in the paragraph below the 5-year plan comparison,
Right,
right?
right.
Okay,
Okay.
so in the first, under 5-year plan, changes, the first bulleted item, number 1, the word capital is capitalized. We don't, doesn't need to be capitalized, right?
Correct.
No, we don't
okay.
need a capital
see.
C.
It's not capitalized in the next one either, so.
Right,
that's
okay,
Yeah,
I
Good
fixed
catch.
that.
Good catch.
so both caps are lowercase now.
So Neil, so you have bullets 1 and 2 in parenthesis, and then you have another category, 39% increase, and it's labeled number 1.
I think
Well,
it's just
that's-
referring to the above one.
Yeah, it's a repeat of the first number 1.
It's the same header.
Do we need
assume
that
it's just-
header?
I assume it's just, more meat on the same bone.
I don't think we need that second header. Do people agree? Superfluous. Oh, I see.
It
So
would be
you're,
confusing if,
No,
if
I
you,
think you do need the header.
okay, I see, because you're commenting.
I think
You're
you do need
commenting.
because you've got an
Yeah.
analysis here.
Okay,
You're
okay,
extrapolating.
I withdraw the comment.
however, that header should also have a lowercase c for capital, obviously.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
good, thank you.
we had mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the other
Yeah.
header. I didn't notice that capital C there.
Yeah, both capital C's are now lowercase.
Are we happy with page 11 now with those changes?
We are. I am. Anybody else?
Agree.
Should we be discussing a debt exclusion referendum or 2, or just said a possible debt exclusion referendum? Or do you want to emphasize that there'll be possibly more than one? Is that adding a little insult to injury?
Where are you, Craig?
Last line, next to the last line on page 11. Where it says one possible solution is a debt exclusion referendum or 2.
And how would you change that, Craig?
Well,
or
I'm just wondering.
spell
if,
it out?
Just one possible solution is a debt exclusion referendum or multiple debt exclusion referendums over,
How about if
over
we
several
reword
years?
that to say a possible solution is one or more debt exclusion
you-
referendums?
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
One or more debt exclusion. All right, Chuck and Lillian, weigh in. Is it referendums with
It's
an
a,
S or referenda?
it becomes referenda.
Thank you. Okay,
Because
so that sentence now reads, a possible solution is one or more debt exclusion referenda.
Right.
Craig, does that sound good to you?
That's fine, fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we on to page 12?
Yes, we are. You know, at the bottom where it says the sum of absolute changes and average change, it sort of gets lost because it looks like it's just tacked on. Is there some way that we can incorporate it so that it looks like part of the total analysis?
I'm sorry, where are you, Lillian?
At the bottom of the chart, there is
Which chart?
the one that says 46%. You see the
What's-
46%
With the blue
What?
arrow.
The blue arrow.
with the blue arrow.
Yes, I see it.
Blue
Okay.
arrow. What I'm saying is that these last two items look like they're just sort of tacked on. And they're really quite important. So I wonder if there's some way that we can physically incorporate them so that it looks like it's part of the whole.
I'm not sure. Neil?
Because that's the 46%.
We'll work on it.
Okay. It just looks like it's hanging out there.
I'm not quite sure I understand what you're driving at, Lillian. You want that? Is it a formatting thing or is it?
Yeah, it's just a formatting thing. I'm not questioning either the title or the amount. I think it needs to be incorporated.
Or perhaps just change the font to make it larger so it stands out.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
The 46%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because that's the point that you're making in this number 2. Other than that, it looks good.
So I'm writing here, enlarge the font for 46%.
And
Neil,
the one right
Yeah.
above it, and the one right above it.
the 110.4.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, let me just make this note. 110.
I mean, that's the point of the whole chart.
Exactly.
You want to
Okay.
emphasize.
Yeah. Neil, I have a question. In the 2 paragraphs above, you have the word average underlined. You're underlining it for emphasis.
No, it doesn't need to be. I can't give you a good reason. It's been that
If you
way
want
since
to
the first
emphasize
draft.
that, I would change it to italics.
No, I don't think, given the discussion, I think you can just get rid of the underline.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
agree. Anything else on page 12? Moving along then.
I think this is a pretty important page, especially the bottom two paragraphs.
I think it's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
Craig, do you think your colleagues on the council will pick up on this? That debt service is going up. I don't have my calculator here, but it's going up by about 20 times between fiscal 24 and fiscal 30, from 0.6 to 13.5. I that's a rhetorical question, but it's
Yeah.
it's pretty important how the debt service is going to increase.
It is.
Well,
It looks,
I think the bar chart makes it very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So I think everybody who reads it will see it.
Yeah.
in,
Sorry,
in the,
Chuck.
in the bar chart on the asterisk line, it looks like the font size changes.
I'm sorry. Where is that?
On the asterisk at the bottom of the page, it looks like the font size changes on the second line. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
whatever it's imported from, you can just make them the same, up or down.
Good catch.
I'm no Chris, Lillian, but I'm trying, doggone it.
Oh boy.
I wanted to let you have that one, Chuck.
Thank you, Chris. You're a good man. Oh, always giving. I like that. I like this page.
This is really an important page.
Yep, it's a good one.
Are we okay with it?
Looks good to me. Looks good to me.
Okay, that's it. And the appendices have stayed the same, so we're good.
Actually, they changed.
What did you change?
What I was told to by Chuck.
That's right. I don't know what it was, but it must have been good.
Next page.
Okay. Appendix 2.
He didn't
Oh,
like
I
what he
see. I
lost.
see. Yeah. Disapproved. Yeah. That's a good
So-
idea. Much better than loss and win.
Yeah, and the reason, was not to be a pain in the butt. It was, the reader, my loss could be your win. It just,
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
As I explained to Chuck, it was just a copy and paste from the state table.
right.
So, but I think the approved, disapproved is clear.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So
So Chuck
Neil,
is competing with Chris now. I can see this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going head to head here.
the last line on page 17, Neil, I had
We're
in
on
an
page
earlier
17 now.
last line on page 17, last line of this august report. I had in an earlier edit had changed the word doing these analyses to performing these analyses. Does anybody feel like that's a good change?
Where are we now?
The bottom line of page 17, the note.
I apologize. I didn't notice the change. That doesn't make any difference to me.
Okay, I'm going to change that word doing to performing.
All right.
Yeah. And there's a comma after analyses, if requested. You see that?
Yep, okay,
Just add a comma.
okay,
Yeah,
done.
done.
I
Done.
propose, Madam Chair, that we vote to approve this report.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the CIP report. Chuck, will you take the roll, please?
William,
Yes.
Hector,
Yes,
Neil,
I need to think about, yeah, yes.
give some people a microphone and they just. Jen,
It's being recorded, you know.
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
and Chuck is yes.
All right. Thank you, guys. This was a really good report.
Awesome job.
Yeah.
Question,
Lily.
how do we submit this to Mark, right? We send it to Mark? And in
Yeah,
what format would you like it?
PDF, please, because
Okay.
that's best for posting to our website and distributing via email to the town council's office.
Okay.
Lily,
Well,
I'd just like
we
to
should-
say, on behalf of the council, fantastic, and obviously I'm aware of the amount of work that went into it. Tremendous job. Thank you
yeah.
all.
Well,
And I
also
would,
wanna
I
thank
would add,
publicly thank Neil for his leadership
Yes.
in this.
oh,
It's been
absolutely.
unbelievable. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like it, and we all owe you a debt of gratitude, Neil, for putting up with all of us during this last couple of months. So, Thank
I
you.
would say thank you for putting up with me.
well, Neil, you've brought a new focus to some of the issues facing the town, and I really think that's to your credit. And now, you know, Lillian and Neil and Craig, the important thing is to communicate this not only to the town manager, but to the town council. So, you know, we're going to leave that in Lillian, your capable hands. I understand there's a meeting scheduled with the town manager.
There is one scheduled for the 25th with the town manager, and we leave it at that.
Right.
We
then-
would, if the town council would like us to appear, we would need an invitation.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd
So
like
we're
to
talking
commend Mark
April
for,
4th, Mark? Is that when the when the CIP comes up, is April 4th?
Public hearings will begin on April 25th. We will
Right.
have the first
25th.
reading. Yeah, first reading of the CIP orders will be on the April 4th agenda.
Right.
And those public hearings will begin the next meeting, which is until April 25th.
So, Mark, what do you think would be the appropriate day for Craig to invite the CIP group to present to town council?
We can talk about it at our leadership meeting.
Okay.
We can, we set the agenda, the previous, Wednesday before
Mm-hmm.
council meeting. So what we can talk about having,
Okay.
feedback added to that agenda, Councilor Tamish, if that's what you want to do.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Because it'd probably be best to have you present maybe the night that, or actually, maybe it'd be better to have you present the night that they're first read in on April 4th. That
Well,
way,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah,
They'll have it for analysis before because by the time you have the public hearing and stuff, I mean, there's just no time.
exactly.
Today's the 15th, so we can certainly get it into the agenda for the 4th.
Yeah, we can bring that up at next Wednesday's meeting. We can start that conversation. then.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? What, in the so-called first reading, since I've never seen this before, what occurs at the town council meeting? Is it just mean they have read the town manager's report by then, or is something presented to them that day, or what?
There's nothing, all the council has to introduce the the items and refer them to public hearings. So our charter requires all appropriations to have 2 readings. The first one is just a referral to the second reading. So there's
Oh,
no
okay.
discussion on any projects, no discussion on the appropriations. We can't do any of that the first time it appears on the agenda.
So
Oh, wait.
is the town manager's recommendation report ever presented in PowerPoint or whatever to the town council?
Yes, we usually provide a presentation, probably at that April 4th meeting is when we'll do it. It'll be a brief presentation that summarizes the proposed capital plan.
So I would suggest that whatever CFAC is to present be coordinated with whatever other people are going to present, so there's not duplication and we're additive and not confusing. That makes sense?
Yeah, is CFAC want to do a PowerPoint, or are you just going to be summarizing your report? Or do you want to do it in a PowerPoint format?
And how would be, what would you recommend, sir? I mean, I've never seen these, so I don't know the format.
Yeah, CFAC's never done a PowerPoint presentation, and it's been quite a while since they've actually done any presentation before the town council.
True.
So maybe what we can do is I think it'd be best to incorporate a few slides that highlight the areas of your report that you want to highlight for the council's benefit, and make that part of the presentation that we do on the proposed capital plan.
Right.
And when you say we, Mark, that's the finance department?
It'll be me. Yeah. Me
Yeah.
and the town manager will probably do a brief introduction and then turn it over to me.
And you're going to do that on April 4th?
I would anticipate so if I'm
Yeah.
requested. Usually
Yeah.
that's what we've done in the past.
Right. And then on April 25th, 3 weeks later,
Yes.
we skip a week there.
School vacation week.
School
Yes.
vacation week.
At the public hearing, so do members of the public speak up? That's
can.
more, that's a hearing when the council really gets into the substance of it, as opposed to just listening to you present, right?
Right. Public hearing, the way the public hearings work is that, the item will be opened up and a presentation will be made by the department on this specific project. And then the council will ask if anybody from the public has any comments that they want to make. So that gives you the public the opportunity to comment on any one of the projects that is being proposed.
So it goes department by department?
Item by
Yeah.
item.
Pretty much. We're opening up with DPW. They'll do most of the presentations on these projects.
Right.
And then after them will be the schools and then the airport.
Well, I guess where I'm headed is, if we want Neil, Jim, and me to present our report to the council, maybe we do it in tandem with your report to the council, as opposed to including pages from our report in your presentation. In other words, that would give Neil, Jim, and me a venue to sit at that table in front and sort of run through the, page 1 and the executive summary.
I think that would be a good thing if you guys are willing to do that, especially with the debt forecast and the debt service information. I think that would be eye-opening for people to actually see that presented, with those charts.
Yeah, you got to really keep it at the high level though, and just
Right.
put the fear of God in them, so to speak.
Well, why don't we?
Those are pretty staggering numbers, so I think that would
They are,
be,
absolutely.
something eye-opening that people might not be aware of. So that would be beneficial, I think.
So Mark, I guess my thinking is you provide a general introduction to this, to the capital budget and the main features of it, and then turn it over to the CIP group to give its observations and analysis, again, as Craig says, at a high level. Does that work?
I'll leave it up to the council leadership to decide how they want that to happen, whether you go
Okay.
first or I go first. But we
Okay.
can do it in conjunction with one another, absolutely.
That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
best way to do it.
Yeah. Do you have a copy, Mark, of what you presented for the CIP last year that I could take a look at? Because
Yes.
I kind of like your idea, not to disagree with Hector, but integrating them so that that the town council gets the big picture, then gets
Right.
the core of what's really going on. I think CFAC can get exposure, but I think it's important that we not overwhelm the town council. I think to some people, this is going to be, and Craig could speak to this better than I can, but just having watched the council, some of this, you might be best to explain,
Yeah.
because you've got a huge diversity on the council. I mean, people like Craig have been through this before, understand it, but almost half the council is going to might.
Will, Neil. They will.
And you have
Yeah.
a great facility to deal with that.
It should be no surprise that is going where it is if anybody's been watching the presentations that we've been giving for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
We've
but
been talking
you have to
about loans and loans and loans to fund this
Yeah.
program.
I sense, I'll be honest, that there were several people, not several, but there were a couple of people on CFAC who didn't get the idea either. And CFAC is more attuned to this. So I expect there'll be some people who find this not shocking because we're not communicating at the right level. But anyways, do you have a presentation from the past that I could see how that's really usually done?
Yes.
And
And
I
then-
think we just plan to, on the future agendas between now and April 4th, just have a quick discussion of this to make sure that Jim and Hector and everyone is on board with how we do this.
Going back to the meeting thing, I don't know how many people were gonna be up front. I would feel more, I'd be happy to give up a seat at the table to have Lillian make sure that she's there. So if there's a head count that's important, like with the town manager meeting, I would be more than comfortable and happy to relinquish my seat there for you, Lillian, if that's important, so.
Well, thank you very much. What I think we could possibly do is I could just give a short introduction of CFAC and what we do for the new members, and then turn it over to the subcommittee. Because I think I think it's critical for the members of the subcommittee to be there. I can pop in and then pop back out. But I agree with Neil that you have to be very careful in the presentation, because there's the overview of the CIP, and then CFAC's report is presented, and we have to be very careful that there's not an overload of information all at once. We have to bear in mind that some of the TC members are new, and they are just going to be, their eyes will be spinning.
I don't know how you avoid that, William.
Yeah, but
It is what it
I think if we distill it and emphasize the main points of our report, they'll get the picture.
Okay, that sounds good. So I think next steps, Mark, if you could circulate to Jim Neil and me, your CIP slide deck from last year's town council meeting. We'll take a look at that and figure out how we could integrate key portions of our report into one slide deck. And at the table up front would be Mark, Lillian, Neil, Jim, and Hector, the 5 of us. And I think Lillian's point is the right one, that we don't want to overwhelm them with information, but I think we do want to emphasize the key conclusions of our report.
Yeah. If I may just ask that, Mark, if you're gonna send your CIP overview to the subcommittee, could you send it to all of us? That, because I think everybody on CFAC would like to see it.
That's a good idea.
It
Yeah, I just-
familiarizes all of us how it's done. I mean, I've seen it, but I think everybody can benefit from it.
Yeah, I agree. I just
Yeah.
couldn't find it on the website anywhere. I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Okay.
Everything's on the website.
Yes. Is there anything else that we would like to talk about this evening? We have a meeting on the 25th, and Mark has sent us the school budget, which is very detailed. And I don't know whether we want to continue on and talk about the CIP presentation to the town council, or we want to move on to the operating budget. What's everybody's pleasure?
So when is the next CFAC meeting?
It's
25th.
the 25th. It's 2 weeks from today. It's on the 25th.
Yeah, so I agree with Neil. I agree with Neil that we should spend a little time.
Sort of
You
like
know,
a dry run.
Yeah, maybe we,
That would be
you know,
good.
we will have talked with Mark and you and others on what slides we would propose for the presentation on April 4th. And I would propose that we spend some time in the next CFAC meeting just going over that to get comments from the rest of the committee. And then we could do the school operating budget.
Neil, to go back to one of your points, it might be worthwhile for you to go back into the videos of the council meetings so you have a sense of how the meeting is conducted. I think it would be helpful for you for when the CIP is presented, and you'll actually see Mark's presentation on the video, not just the sterile PowerPoint slides, but just to see how the
good
whole
point.
hearing is conducted.
Good suggestion. Thank you.
That's a great idea.
I'll go look for that. So that would have been last April of last year. I'm right. I can find it in that. That's the one you're referring to.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I see if I can find the agenda for you if you want.
No, that's okay. I that's a good suggestion. I didn't know they went back that far.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the 25th, we're going to do a dry run on the CIP. And Chuck, what do you want to do with the opening of the operating budget subcommittee?
Well, can we share ideas on that between now and whenever we need to put the agenda together, which I guess is pretty soon. But I haven't heard from anybody that I recall about sections they have a preference to take. I've got a couple of I'll take what's ever around. So it'd be nice to.
That was me.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little structure on who's going to be doing what. So let me follow up with that after we sign off here.
Okay.
And I'll make sure we finalize this before Mark needs to send an agenda out so that we're all on the same page.
Okay. So you will give us choices.
I will. I will basically just resend what I sent the first time and
Right.
ask people to actually pick this time. Yes.
Okay.
And just a heads up, we should finalize that agenda by next Wednesday, the 20th, so we can get it posted in time.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we could just put down operating budget.
Yeah.
Just put down operating budget and then Chuck can carry on from there.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Fine by me. Yep.
All right. Is there anything else that we'd like to discuss this evening?
Does
Neil,
CPAC
that looks
have
like
a
it's-
March Madness pool?
Yeah.
I think it has a Mega Millions pool, Jim. I don't know about March Madness.
That's what I'll change it to Mark Madness. There you go.
There you go.
Neil, that meeting last year was April 6th
Oh, great, thanks.
when they were all introduced.
Thanks for that information. Okay, not hearing anything. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Chuck,
Lillian?
Yep.
Hector?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Jim?
yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And Chuck is yes. We're good.